All right, I'm Jeff Ellenboss. I'm here with Dylan and Dave Meyer, and today we wanted to show off Dylan's awesome, incredible buck that he shot a while back. Dylan, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you shot him?
We shot him on Sunday, September 10, and we sat all day Saturday for him, waiting for him to come out. Our food plots we had, our Bigun beastie ones. I planted turnips and clover in there, and he was all through there about every day. And he was pretty active all the time during the daylight, which made it pretty cool to watch him all summer.
And what'd you shoot him with?
450 Bushmaster.
Awesome. That's a very nice gun. Very accurate. So the main goal today, we wanted to really honor this buck and tell you about how he lived, because what's so interesting is how small his home range was. So today we just wanted to take some time and talk about that. But before we get to that, how big did he actually score, Dylan?
Well, me and my buddy Jordan scored him to be 226, and we did it again a little more careful and got 219, so in between there.
Okay, so if he ends up anywhere between 219 and 226, I looked it up in the Boone and Crockett record book for Michigan, he'll be a top 10 probably if he goes over 220.
That'll be exciting.
Cross your fingers.
That's awesome. Incredible buck. And what did you say this brow tine here scored?
This brow tine altogether was 27 inches, and this main part is 12 and 5/16 tall.
And how many points does he have?
He's got 20 points total. I didn't count these little stickers though, so he's still got 20. It'd be 22 with them.
And he almost grew a drop tine on the one side.
He was starting to.
Right there, I don't know if you can see.
So cool. And what was the largest width that you had on that side?
16 and a quarter.
Seven.
Or no, oh,
That's
that's width. Right here was 7 inches.
7 inches?
Mass.
Wow. And he's just incredibly heavy buck.
And we actually got the age back the other day. Came back as a 4-year-old, and we're all
4-year-old. Wow. Incredible that he could grow that big and still be that young of a deer.
Yep.
We're going to have to talk to that farmer and see what beans he planted there so we
Right.
can do that again.
Absolutely.
So how many times did you guys see this buck over the summer?
Too many?
He was very active during the day, and yeah, it's like trying to hide an elephant in your front yard. So
He was very visible during the daylight, wasn't he?
yeah, it was definitely odd for being this size.
Yeah. And I even saw him from the road with some buddies and tried to take pictures of him, but it was just too dark and a little too far away to get good solid pictures of him. But I know that he was really visible this past summer.
Yep.
Let's talk about how small his home was. I measured on Onyx that area that he lived in was about 100 yard wide by 275 yards long. Probably about 5 acres, wouldn't you say?
I guess.
And he lived there the whole entire summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was every other day. He'd usually bring the camera. He was there quite often. So
And he'd go from that little tiny woods and pond area to the beans and just stand in the beans. And he had a couple buddies with him
yeah,
too, right?
there was probably
Yeah.
a group of 4 or 5 of them running together. So obviously he was the largest.
And did you have any history with this buck? Did you see him last year?
Not that I know of. We didn't see him last year, but neighbors had some pictures of him last year, and he looked to be probably 145, 150. So he blew up a lot.
In fact, at the end of this video, I'm going to post some pictures that some buddies got from last year, and we'd like to see what the audience think, how big he was. Because if he was a 140 and he goes 220 now, I mean, that's almost 80 inches
It's crazy.
of antler that he grew in a year. That's just phenomenal. And he's still got some velvet hanging off him, so you shot him, what, a day or so after he started shedding?
Yes, his horns were very, very red when we.
Yeah, even that morning it was very red.
So I got to imagine within 24 to 48 hours, after he got hard horned, he might have left his small little area there and went in the corn, don't you think?
Yeah.
I think his days were numbered there. but it all worked out.
And what's amazing is he lived in such a small area, but it was in the middle of the block. On each side of the block, there's like really busy roads, and he lived directly in the center of that. But I think he wanted to stay away from the roads, and I'm so glad he didn't get hit by a car. Aren't you, Dylan?
Yeah, very glad.
That would have been devastating.
Yes, very.
So did you find any sheds from last year then at all?
No, we looked in the woods he lived in, and there was nothing in there. So
Yeah, so if anybody has the sheds from last year, we'd love to put our hands on them just so we can measure them, just to see how big this buck had grown over the year. But we wanted to just show this buck off and just honor him and tell you about the history of him. And you guys watched him all summer, so he was almost like a pet to you. I know it's kind of a
Yep.
bummer that you had to
Right.
take him, but you know, I'm just glad you did, because I didn't want him to get hit by a car. That would have
Right.
just been horrible. So
For sure.
what mount are you getting?
We were thinking, since we've always seen him in the field, just sitting up, looking at you laying down in the bean field, we were thinking a full body mount, laying down, looking at you.
Oh, that would be awesome. That'll be great. Well, congratulations again on an amazing buck, and we'll have to recap this once you get the mount back, and maybe do another
yeah,
video.
we got measured yours. After 60 days, I think we got roughly 30 days yet. And
Oh, right. After he dries, goes through the drying period.
officially measured up and see where he comes in at.
Yeah, that would be great. Awesome.
For sure.
Well, thanks for bringing him over tonight, Dylan, and really appreciate you showing us your awesome buck. It's amazing.
Anytime.